Another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. It has been a minute since we have been together. We took the World Cup break, and I think everybody enjoyed that. And then all kinds of things happened that made things interesting. Life changes. I've been more busy at work than can remember. Brennan went off and, had a baby. Well, he helped, I guess. And
Congrats,
Tyler,
Brennan. Way to go,
Thank,
man. Woo, woo.
thank you. A
and
lot of work.
Tyler ran away. Where did you run off to, Tyler?
Oh, I didn't run away. I've just been gone. I did move to Arizona, though. Yep, I sure
Yeah,
did.
so all new dynamic with the RSL Random Fan Podcast. We're glad to be. I'm excited to be back and chatting about our favorite team, Real Salt Lake. But first, please do us a favor: subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on all social media. As we get back into the season, we're definitely going to be cranking things up and getting you the content that you deserve. Right? Is that fair?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Well
yeah.
said.
Well,
Definitely deserved.
yeah, you absolutely deserve it. You may not want
Well
it, but you
deserved.
deserve it. So
Let's go.
let's have a little quick chat. We haven't really talked about the World Cup and how that went down. Your thoughts? I've talked to a couple of people, a couple episodes, kind of chat about it as we were going along. But what were your guys' biggest takeaway from the World Cup?
Well, I picked it so well in the knockout stage. Even in I won my bracket in the initial stage, group stage, right? And then the knockout stage, I picked it so well. I missed two games. I always pick against Mexico. That's my I know people are like, no, they're the host country. They're with us. They're our neighbors. And I'm like, so I missed that game. They beat Ecuador. That was one I missed. And then I missed Germany, Paraguay. I did not think Paraguay was going to take it to Germany like they did. And again, they just wanted penalties. But still, like to do what they did, it just shows how good we were in that Paraguay game. Like this USA team, we have the ability. Man, it's ah, so we have the ability. But
Do
when
we?
you put, a 39-year-old center back, when he's your best option, don't blame Tim Ream for being the best option. Blame all the other kids underneath Tim Ream that couldn't take his spot. That's who we need to blame, right? Anyway, so but yeah, I picked great till the final four. I got all four of the final four. I thought England would win, and I thought France would win, and it would be an England-France final. And the physicality that they were allowing in the World Cup was going to allow England to push them around and win. So that was my pick. I was wrong, of course, because Spain dominated the day. And to me, it just seems like Rodri is a way better player than we ever gave him credit for, even though he's at Man City and they win all the time. Most of it's his fault, and we give him way too little credit. So I have way more respect for Rodri than I've ever had before.
What about you, Brennan?
I was a pessimist through the whole thing since I'm a Ronaldo fan. Um, I could not stand Argentina throughout the entire World Cup. It kind of consumed the World Cup for me. Like I came in it wanting to pay attention to certain teams, and then I just got so involved with Argentina and their path.
Argentina?
Argent
Vargentina.
Argentina. And dude, I couldn't focus. I was so just, how is Argentina going to lose? How are they going to weasel their way into the next round? So I was in a negative headspace pretty much for a full month, just full on hating everything. But I did love to see the small teams like Cape Verde. I thought that was a really solid team, really, really, really well played. And it's so funny. I think France and England was probably the best third and fourth place match in a long time. So I was probably not too smart and just focused on the negativity instead of the great play that the World Cup provided.
That's a
You
good point.
What about
um
you, Brent?
I went both ways on this. I trying to what's the word? Bipolar. I kind of had a bipolar experience with the World Cup. First being that kind of I thought that with all the things going on in the world and just I was it really sucked the joy. I thought if things had been a little different, around the United States and just in general, um, I think it could have been a lot of fun. Turns out it was. So like Brent, I was kind of negative. I was like, oh man, this is it's gonna be rough. Um, there might be some bad optics. I mean, there were some where, some of the players, some of the refs, I mean, I think there was one FIFA ref that didn't make it into the country for, some of the immigration stuff, and not to go down that. I mean, you can decide who comes into your country and all that. But I thought there was just so much stuff that was taking away from what could have been a really joyful experience with the game. Turns out it was that way anyway. One of the things I'll take away from the World Cup, I really got sucked into watching some of the European fans and all the fans that came to the United States to watch the World Cup, how they just fell in love with the United States. I thought to me, that was really, really fun. I that Freddie guy from Germany, and I saw a bunch of them that were, people coming around and the glory that is, free refills. I mean, what a concept. And, foreign fans are like, you mean I get a free refill? Like it's free? And just the beauty of the United States, the people going all over the United States. And so, yeah, I kind of pulled myself out of that negativity as the worst didn't happen. It turns out the games were played and it was great and it was fun. And even in Canada and Mexico, you had the Korean fans in Mexico, and they're all buddy buddies. So it was just the World Cup soccer is just a glorious thing. And we they tried to hijack it, but I think that got after Infantino tried to do whatever that crazy thing is he wanted to do, sell the World Cup. But that looks like that's burned down for a second. But yeah, that was really one of my big takeaways. And then I agree with Brennan. Some of these smaller teams, the larger format, I hope they don't go to 180 teams, 100 every country. But I thought it worked out well because even though those clubs, those countries didn't make it too far, but neither did the host countries. So I thought they brought some joy. I will never forget uh, DR Congo, right? They got a fan there that stands like a statue for one of the first elected prime ministers, I think he was. Lumumba is his name. So there's a lot of really fun things. And then the games were a lot of fun until the end. I could really do without Argentina. The last cycle, I was kind of sucked into Messi getting his World Cup, but man, Argentina, the way they play football, I agree. That's where I went back to the negative side, the bipolar um, point, and they just sucked the joy at the end. The only thing that could have been better is if Spain had just wiped them out 4-1. That was what I was hoping for. But to watch Argentina not lift a trophy again uh, brought a little tear to my eye. I thought it was
Well,
great.
and
I thought it was
I think if
fantastic.
England could have taken them down, that would have made your World Cup, right? If England
Oh
would have
yeah.
not parked the bus, we say this all the time. Don't park the bus. Don't park the bus. Defend like you know, but still, like their goals weren't garbage. Like they were because guys didn't step right on the one the guy gets a free header. He's 5'6", dude. Like, come on. You don't even have to be that close to him. I mean, Come on.
Well, yeah,
Five,
but
six, nine.
that was after certain things went their way, though. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there was
Yeah.
some times where Argentina should have not gotten the help from VAR or the referee, and certain things should have stand. And then
Yeah. I was
magically,
hoping Congo also.
yeah, dude, because Congo played so well and they
That would
fought
have
for
been
so
cool.
long.
Well, Cape
Yeah.
Verde should have taken him out. There was a foul at the end of the regulation before they went to PKs. Why was that not called? And the way that Cape Verde had all of the momentum, they had a free kick just outside the box.
Hmm.
Um, Man, they were ready to steal
Well,
it, but
even at the end of the England game, when what's his name, Messi just like clocked the guy in the leg, and then he's trying to limp back on defense, and the ball gets served
Oh,
right over
yeah,
him, and they
he
score.
steps on his foot. Same exact call that got called on the other side against Balogun and
Which,
all that mumbo
you know,
jumbo.
oh, and then
yeah,
Egypt collapsing and giving up the
yeah.
goals late, even though uh well, that was the other thing too, is like just the I think I saw a stat that Argentina did not have a single VAR review go against them in the World Cup. And yeah, there was the one
And
play
there
in
was
England where
opportunity for
Messi steps on the guy's foot. That's what you were just talking about. Yeah, that should have not have been just like the Egypt game. They should have gone back, and that goal shouldn't have counted. So,
him.
it would that was frustrating. But for me overall, there was enough fun stuff. Morocco, there was it's surprising. I always love the Netherlands. I would love to see that orange group of fans. They're very joyful. They didn't do as well as I'd hoped. Same with Croatia. They kind of got knocked out with a little bit of help in the Portugal game. Sad to see Luka Modric, end his international career. There was some. It was it was a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, really was. It was really cool. Um, but I think Morocco might win a World Cup in our lifetime. They have a lot of up and coming kids that are dang good.
Yeah, and there's a lot. There's that's true. France and Mbappe. People have pointed out that he is really good unless the game counts, right? When until you get to the big games, and then all of a sudden,
Oh, come on. He scored a hat trick in the final last year, bro. Last World Cup. You can't say anyone that scored a hat trick in the final doesn't show up for big games.
well, he won,
That's
won. But I'm
that's a
not. I'm
joke.
just saying what
He's the
other
leading
people said.
scorer in the
I'm not
World
saying it.
Cup.
I'm just repeating stuff. I see a lot of stuff,
Hey, he could
That's
and
why
be
you
US,
shouldn't
you know what
take
I
it
mean?
personal when I say it's a joke.
oh, okay. But also, I wanted to talk about the U.S. men's national team and how I was a little. I was very negative about them. I wasn't expecting them. I wouldn't have been surprised if they struggled to get out of the group, but I was really excited that they showed up. They won a couple of games. I think not getting the draw in the third game of the group, who was that against Turkey?
Okay, yeah.
I think that sucks some confidence right out of them because these are kids. And the question is with these American, the U.S. men's national team players, a lot of them play in Europe, but they're not the leaders on their team, and that makes it. They just kind of get in, they kind of play. Pulisic hadn't scored since December or something, and we can talk about him as well. But yeah, I thought they kind of fizzled out surprisingly or sadly, maybe not surprisingly, but sadly, and. I think when I see Pulisic, they come out and said, "Oh, he had a fracture or a hairline fracture or whatever it was," and I'm just
Yeah,
thinking,
broke his leg.
right in half. But yeah,
When did he break it?
I wonder how much of that is like real. But I
When did he break it?
Wow. Wow. On that kick where he shot it and the guy put his foot down first and he kicked him.
I
Hooked him?
just think
Good
of
shot. Yeah.
I think there are players that would have wrapped it up and played through it. Not that that's smart or you should do that, but I don't know that Pulisic wants to be the man. I don't think he is the man. And I think that's what this U.S. men's team is lacking a little bit. I think Balogun, Oh, and the red card fiasco with
That was
whomever.
weird, huh?
Yeah, it just totally, I
However,
think
it went
the
down.
however it went down, it totally hosed the U.S. If they might have had the best of intentions to get the best player out there, but I really think it took away from what the U.S. needed. They needed to be the underdog. They needed to go in there and fight and have something to fight for. And then when he comes back, they're just like, oh no, I thought the pressure was on, and I don't think they played with any confidence. I think they would have been better off. The game might have been better. The result may have been the same, but not having flow play, I think would have been better for the club, better
And
for the
the
team.
timing was rough for the World Cup because we have very important players for us that were injured. Chris Richards was barely back from an injury. He still played great. If we could duplicate Chris Richards and also put him on the left side and the right side of center defense, would be fine. So figure that out before next World Cup. Johnny Cardoso got injured. He was almost in the final of the UEFA Cup or whatever Champions League, right? Injured right before the World Cup. Ajiman, the guy that loves to post up and play big and push players around, injured before the World Cup. So we had important players to us that were injured. Christian Pulisic wasn't 100%. He was going after it at 80%. He didn't play in the game I went to. I was a little disappointed. But because we won and we played well and it was a little ugly towards the end against Australia, but we went through it and we still played well overall. And you start getting these little cult heroes like Austin Trusty, but then he hurts himself and he can't play in the next game. See what happens? Like we got injured a lot in this World Cup. And that was one of the things I noticed in this World Cup is it was officiated different than MLS games. And if you don't believe me, just go watch the St. Louis game against RSL. Anytime there was a foul that was any sort of hard, Chris Pencil was like, yellow card, yellow card, yellow card, yellow card. And the refs didn't do that in the World Cup. They were letting guys get away with all sorts of stuff and
Yeah,
not giving out
Argentina,
calls.
they had like sticks and stuff. They were hitting people with sticks. No yellow card. It was that
I
blatant.
know. That's why I couldn't believe in the final that they gave the second yellow. It was totally warranted. It was totally deserved. But
Yeah, that
Argentina,
should have been that's a straight red. Like
oh
he
yeah, but
plowed
Argentina
through.
fans were all like, "Oh, look at
What?
this
What?
pansy. He can't even take this kick when he just ran at full speed right through his kicking leg."
So why
Like,
why did
yeah,
why
no
did
one
Messi
can.
not get a card for putting his boot through somebody's calf? That's the one that's like perplexing me. Like that one makes no sense. If you can take a picture of it, why couldn't VAR say something about that? That's a red card, is it not?
Yeah, it's
Like
at least the yellow, right?
well, yeah. And I feel like it's just so much inconsistency and it is kind of favorable. I mean, I'm totally in a like what is it, a conspiracy theorist because when you watch the final, they Spain wins, and then did you see the fireworks above the stadium? Do you know what color they were? Do you know what color the fireworks were to celebrate the winners? Just
I
guess.
think they were blue and white.
They were baby blue and
Celeste.
white, my brother.
Well, I wonder
Pew,
if
pew,
that was,
pew.
yeah, the double check because AI is real.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because that
Yeah,
could just be a thing going around.
it could have been, but you can't trust hardly anything, but I did see that one and I want it to be true,
Yes, I want it to be
but
so true.
Yeah,
But
somebody showed a lyric, a little thing from a FIFA game that said, "Hey, look, FIFA's already called the final," and it was like 2-0 for France, and they didn't win. So, I mean, there you go.
yeah,
There's a whole
there's
bunch of
people.
little things out there that you know.
well, hey, I wanted to talk about the US because I mean, Tyler's obviously, diehard US fan. He hates Mexico just in every facet of his life.
I'm so sorry. I'm not racist, I
He's not
promise.
racist. No, he just has a hatred for
But when it comes
a
to
certain
soccer,
team. Yeah, a certain team.
you could put it like this: Mexico national team is
Yeah.
Tyler's Diego Chara.
Yes, very, very true. That is my Diego Chara. My ears are itching just thinking about it.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
dude. But no, so like with Diego Luna not getting his World Cup chance after being in all those commercials and whatnot, Um, do you think he would have made an impact, if anything? And do you think that it would be so much so that it would make him be in a better position than he is now?
Right. You forgot to say Brandt after you said that.
Oh, I was going to say Tyler.
Oh, yeah. So I think Luna could have contributed. He could have contributed, but Pochettino would have had to want to play him because he could have been just like the other two guys who didn't play.
Zendaya,
Arfston and Brady, and just like
Zendejas, did he get some minutes?
I think he got a few minutes, but really it's just Arfston and Brady that didn't play, and now Arfston's off to Europe. So yeah,
Yeah, I
I
thought
mean, I
there
think it was
were
there for Luna, but he obviously something happened, something broke down. And here's the thing: Clint Dempsey said this. If you go back and watch his it's on Paramount Plus. If you go watch that, Dempsey the whole time is just like he's at Fulham and he keeps getting benched. They switch out the coach and he gets benched. And he switched out the coach and he gets benched. And he finally in the commentary, he's just like, look, you have to be so good that if they leave you out, everyone's asking questions. That's how good you have to be. You can't be like, if he's not in the starting 11, he said it after the last one, and he got really mad at Roy Hodgson, who's a great coach and a England legend and everything. And he's like, we came out of preseason. I worked my butt off. I know I was one of the best players out there. I know I was top three, and they didn't start me the first game. And I went in there and I said, look, coach, if you got 11 people who want it more than me, you play them. And if not, you put me in the game. And he's, has a few expletives that I kind of bleeped out in there. But basically, if I can't prove I'm your top two, three guys, then I haven't done my job right anyway. Right. And Diego didn't prove that. And, he was top 20, I think, but they didn't think so. And when you get towards the end of the 26, like, it's like, what do you need? Right? And that's what they go for, what they think they'll need, not who's the best person, not who's the best player. It's like, what does the team need? Because that's the job of the coach is to win the game. And if he didn't think Diego would contribute in that moment, he had to leave him home. And that sucks, especially with the injuries we had and how well he did play at times.
Well,
And he
you
would
know,
be in a better spot if he had played in the World Cup, but he didn't.
I was kind of hoping for an opinion, not factual information, because I like your opinion more. It's a little bit juicier.
I
Um,
would have loved to have seen Diego out there. Did he deserve it? I think he did. I think he proved it. He's what
yeah.
America wants. He's gutsy. He's gritty. He gets after it. He can almost be that Clint Dempsey type player
Hmm.
when he's on. But he hasn't really been that for Real this year. He's had good games, but he's also had less than good games. And I think if he was doing that all the time, game in, game out, on his game, hot, fired up, he's that player. He can be that player. But if Pochettino saw that and was like, I gotta take Zendejas instead,
Well, then
then
my next question for both of you is, I just saw that Pochettino signed a contract. He's going to extend a little bit longer. Do you
yep.
think do you think that's where the U.S. needs to go? Pochettino's direction or what?
Well, I guess we are, right? So another 4 years of that. So does Diego Luna come in and start being a regular now? Does he call him right in? I hope so. I hope so. I hope he starts putting him right in. And Gozo too. Bring him in, get him going, get him fit, get him used to playing for the U.S. Get Gozo barreling up and down that side. Put Luna and Gozo on the same side. Let them work together, right? Like that could be the future of the U.S. men's national team. There's potential for both of those players to become world class. So I don't think that's a crazy stretch of the imagination. But are they our best players right now? No. But will they be in 4 years? And that's the real question you want to ask. And I think the answer is yeah. Yes, they both could be. Yep.
I think one of them could be.
Bum bum bum.
I think I'll say this. I think Diego Luna, if he had been on the national team this year in that Belgium game, you throw him in the 80th minute or somewhere in there. I think he lights a fire. I think it's the same thing with Gozo. Either one of those players, and you could probably throw in a list 20 players long in Major League Soccer or around the world that could have done that. But I think because we see them play and we know what they can do. I think Diego Luna, especially. Some people have said Gozo for what they need. It might have been a great one, but I don't know that U.S. men's team is full of like X Dog. There's not a lot of X Dog players, and there's a whole bunch of talented team players. Like I said, that they aren't necessarily leading their teams wherever they play. They're great players on their teams, but they're not the leaders. They're not the captains. That's why I think you need to have maybe a few more MLS experienced players because when they're here, that's what they're doing. That's what Landon Donovan, and Tim Howard has had some great comments and thoughts during the World Cup about what they brought and what they had to do to play. Deuce was another one talking about how he had to really make a statement, and I thought Pablo mentioned too the story he mentioned when he was whichever one it was might have been his first World Cup, and the coach said, "Hey, Bruce Arena says, hey, you know what? I'm bringing you, but don't plan on playing, right? You're going to be on the team. Don't plan on playing." And, he started the first game because he went out there and that
Against
was going to be
Italy.
his, what's that?
And it was against Italy and he got right in their face right from the beginning. He started taking people out, pushing them around, dropping
Yeah.
bombs. That's
And so
Pablo, right?
I think both Luna and Gozo would have been kind of that player. They're that player on RSL. I don't know why they wouldn't be for the U.S. men's national team, even if it was only for a few minutes in a critical part of the game. I thought either one of them would have really been a lightning rod of just like Diego was, catching an elbow with his nose or whatever it was and breaking his nose and getting out there playing. I think the U.S. men's national team, you can't have a whole roster full of that, but they need to have a few. They need to have more. They need to have some that have that kind of grit and X dog
And
and
I think
chip on
Berhalter
their
has it,
shoulder.
right? And I think Tyler Adams has it, but Tyler Adams didn't have a great World Cup. I love that guy, but he did not have a great World Cup.
Yeah, and I think it kind of needs to be somebody in the middle. To be fair, you can
Like a
be a
Roy Keane kind of a thing.
Roy Keane, Kyle Beckerman, um, somebody in
Rodri.
in the spine of the team. You can't. You can have all the X dog you want as a center back, but how you can get. No offense, Tyler, but
Thanks.
you need to have someone that's in there that's directing traffic, that is having maybe a little bit more impact on how things are going. So,
Yeah,
but
like Rodri, like
yeah,
before him, Busquets, right? For Spain,
yeah,
if we're talking about that. And I think that's what England is probably missing just a tiny bit of. Like, I love Rice. He's great, but they need somebody that's a bulldog in the middle a little bit more, you know?
yeah. And who's the young kid on the wing? Really
So
stood
it
out.
was Jude and Rice, right? The guy with the long hair
No, the kid. I think he was the left back.
for England.
Yeah, they had a young player. Um, I'll look him up. But yeah, I don't know
Oh,
that the
the guy
U.S. men's.
from City, the City kid,
Is that who it was?
I think
whatever
it
his
started
name
with
is, the City kid with the fro, with that cool fro. Sorry, I identify
Yeah, it
people by
might have
their
been
hair, you
City.
know?
I don't know. It wasn't Nico O'Reilly.
Oh, not O'Reilly.
I'll look it up. But yeah, I thought more thoughts while I'm doing this about the World Cup in general.
Oh, wasn't it Spence? It
The
was
guy that had like the headgear on or whatever.
Jed Spence.
No, he was good. It was a younger player.
I
Hmm.
think they bring up the Arsenal kid that's like 6'2" and just can dribble everybody. you seen this kid play? Dolman? He'll be in England rotation next World Cup, man. Anyway,
Anyway,
I think
any
it's time to
final
move on from
thoughts
World Cup.
on
Yeah,
it's like Goodman or something.
maybe it's bad, man.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah, not sure what you're talking about.
maybe
Sorry.
maybe it was
Or are you
somebody else.
talking Nico O'Reilly?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. So I apologize for the tangent, but I can see the player. I swear it was for England, but maybe not. So do you guys have any final thoughts on the World Cup overall? I mean, we kind of broke it down a little bit.
No, I think football won this World Cup, which was great because I think a team that played football the way it should be done kind of took it over. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to give it to Spain. They moved the ball so well. They played so well. They knew what to do and they did it. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about Spain and how they built their national team and how all of their different age groups all play the same way so that when they get to that pinnacle, they're all thinking the same thing. They all have the same responsibilities. They're all playing the same structure. They're all playing the same way. So they all know what their responsibilities are for each position. It doesn't change from team to team or week to week.
I found Anthony Gordon.
Oh, the blonde
And
kid?
yeah,
Anthony
Anthony
Gordon
Gordon,
from Newcastle?
Yeah, he
Barcelona.
was playing left back.
He
Yeah,
he
He's
was over there on
playing.
the left, but he
he's
had
playing
he had
wing.
he had
Yeah.
an impact that was surprising. So I wasn't totally uh old timer now.
Scored a good goal, right?
Yeah,
Didn't he score the goal against Argentina?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I think I agree with Brennan. Soccer won, which is great. There was a whole bunch of American fans that seem to have fallen in love with soccer. The big question, I thought it was interesting that a lot of the fans on social media that I saw were like, who should be my Premier League team? That seemed to be people wanting to get into soccer. Who should be my Premier League team? Not too many. I didn't see any of this say, hey, how do I watch the Bundesliga or how the Premier League is the big dog, it looks like. Um, Around the
By
world
ways.
and in the United States. And I just kind of jumped in there and said, "Hey, have some guts, go with Crawley Town." But didn't go very well. But anyway, have
Sorry about that. It's a losing battle you're fighting there.
yeah, a little bit.
So
But I thought it was
we're in the
interesting
Premier
how they
League.
all picked them. A couple people picked Tottenham Hotspur, and everybody's like, "Oh, yeah."
Well,
Mm. But
yeah. If
fun
you
to
want to
see
cheer
that
for Romero,
soccer.
who's one of the biggest poor sports in the World Cup, then yeah, sure. Cheer for Tottenham.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of those
The
guys.
poor sportedness drove me kind of crazy. Like I didn't like that Jude went up and slapped the kid in the back of the head after the England Argentina game,
Oh, I love
but he
that.
didn't like assault him. He just kind of whacked him, you know?
Well, no, that I think that was the kid that was saying some sort of like racial slur or something like that. He was saying
It might
Called
have
him a
been.
clown.
that caught like because he was after he celebrated, he ran across some England players around the box and was like
Yeah,
taunting or something like that. And I
Little
think,
redheaded kid that
sure.
never had a minute.
yeah, that
But
kid.
he played for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he ended up getting picked up by somebody, some big team.
Huh.
But he said something to call him a clown or something to Jude and didn't know that Jude spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
and so Jude went up there and smacked him in the back of the head and he turned around and you see that kid like,
What's up?
ooh,
and then he's like, Jude's a big boy.
scared to death. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I really yeah, I don't like Argentina. That's one thing I'll take away is like I'm done with Argentina. Absolutely done with them. I hated the
Well,
way
and
they
Harry
played the
Kane's better
game.
than I thought he was, right? Like that guy is still so good.
Who's that?
He just needs a foot. Harry Kane just needs a foot, and he's got a
Yeah.
goal, man. Like that guy is still so good. That's why I thought that England were going to win it. That's why I picked them because between Harry Kane and everybody else behind him, there's just so much depth. But then they kept putting in the 6'6" center back or whatever, and I'm like,
Burns.
anyway,
Yeah, I thought Toikel really had an opportunity to set himself apart, but he parked the bus after going up a goal, and you just don't do that, even if, especially on Argentina, especially with Messi, and especially with the way the game was being called for Argentina this year. You knew that was dangerous, and it turns out that it was for England anyway.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so lots to talk about. We can probably we'll just every episode we'll just talk about the World Cup for a minute if you want. No, just kidding. But let's jump in. RSL was on a sabbatical. They had a little bit of a break. They had 7 weeks off. They started practicing in June to really stay sharp, and because they have they had 20 games to finish through their regular season. They finished at the break. They were in third place after 14 games. They're playing really well. They had 20 games left. So far, they have played 3 in the span of a week as they've jumped back into MLS play. First one, LAFC, did not go well. Second one, Portland, did not go well. Third
Ugh.
one, all road games at St.
Ugh.
Louis, kind of went well. So, not breaking down every single game, but what are your thoughts on the first 3 games as RSL has returned to Major League Soccer? And then we've got 3 Leagues Cup games after that. So a lot of soccer to be played in a very short amount of time.
Go ahead, Brent.
Well, I mean, LAFC, I kind of felt that that was going to be an Achilles heel no matter how good we were playing. Um, I didn't really like our movement on the ball against LAFC. I felt that we were a little too weak in the back line, and I didn't like our attack. And then I kind of kept that same mentality going against Portland. Um, I think that red card is a little soft, to be honest, and that's me trying to think of it as both sides, not just an RSL fan. Um, I think the Portland game should have been like 3-0. I think we should have taken it to Portland. I don't see why we allowed that to happen. Um, but I think the St. Louis game kind of solidified where I feel the team is at right now. I feel that our attack is still too unique or too left open when it comes to what we have as an idea of an attack. I feel that the Guy Lavogi, Luna, Salons, or Gozo, like that upper 3, I don't think that we're gelling enough. And I don't think that we're taking that third pass well enough because we do a good give and go, but then that third pass, we're just not in a position to keep attacking and moving. And that's where I felt like if we could have Spearings be a little bit higher up, we would probably be able to have a better third pass and then set us up for any sort of like switching of the field or, some go through runs. But there was some hope with Sanabria finally getting a goal, which was awesome. I thought Booth had a pretty good showing in that St. Louis game since we were heavily rotated. Um, I'm not sure. Like once again, I got this weird like up and down love for Pablo Minestrone. Like there's times where I am just fully behind him. Like I just like, dude, I understand what you're saying. Like this is great. Like I didn't believe you at first, but now I believe it. I see it. And then when it comes to choices in the games, I don't follow him. Like I don't see the direction. It's always like what like the was it Lineker? Is that the guy, the
Lineker,
Monster
yeah.
guy that came up? It's like, yeah, okay, give him some opportunity. Cool. All right, that's great. But what about the other dudes that are chilling on the bench that could use some time in real games to get better? Like, this is not the time to throw out the Monarchs kind of a player. Like, we're not, we're in fifth now because of the choices that we've made. And I think the Burnley game set us up in the wrong way, like mentally, tactically, like how comfortable we felt. because if you watch the Burnley game, you could tell Burnley, it was not the Burnley that you expect. It's not, and I mean, from the goalie to their striker, it was as if they're playing in a backyard. Like there was no intensity really. Like they got angry, they showed their quality for a second or two, but then they were just like, this isn't that important. We got a new coach. Like, come on, like we're just gonna goof around. And the goals we got against Burnley were too casual. Like Gozo linking up seemed like a casual goal. Salons, I can't get enough about Salons. Holy cow. But I think the whole Burnley success kind of, in my opinion, after watching, I think that kind of set us for failure for the LAFC. Um, Portland kind of went against us. We should have won that. And then St. Louis was kind of just like hey, what are we kind of doing? But one big thing is I have to say, Solans is probably the best striker in the league under 25. Like the guy is special, like so freaking good. And he just does not have an online voice or like he doesn't have any media voice. You know what I mean? He's so quiet. He's just you don't know him if you're from a different team until you play him. And then you're like, who is that guy? Like, why is that guy not talked about? Like, why are we not preparing for Sergey Solans? Like, he gets
Right.
behind every defender. He does incredible runs. Like, and he finishes. Like, he's so good at finishing. Out of the air, on the ground, off bounce, whatever, off his mother. He's so good. Like, I can't get enough of him. And I think that it really sucks is that you see the distribution just fall off. And then there's a glimmer, that backheel pass that you're never supposed to do, according to Tyler Thomas, that ended up allowing Sergey to take a nice little extra touch to go around the goalie and send it across. Like, that's the kind of stuff that Salons is going to help us finish. Like when we think creative, so we if we're thinking creative to get to Salons, Salons is going to make our creativity look good. Do you know what I mean? Like he's so influential and I'm so excited for that. But then it's just it's so weird. You feel like RSL is connected, but then when we get into the trenches and we get into like the warfare of it, we're not as connected as we say we are or we feel we are. Do you get what I mean by that?
Oh yeah, I totally do. Especially in the LAFC game. Like we played better. So like think of your like and this is Pablo, I think's mentality going to what Brennan was saying, right? Like play better, right? So play better. So we did play better against LAFC than we did in both the 4-1 losses of last year. However, the scoreline was roughly the same. So the result wasn't what we wanted, but the play was better. We didn't get dominated on possession. We held the ball better, but none of our defenders are going to do great against one-on-one with Denny Bouanga or Son. It's just not great. Not great. It's not going to be. We don't have great one-on-one defenders that are going to shut that down. That's not who we are. Okay. So we shouldn't expect it. So we should be playing more defensive, dropping way more, and instead we're pressing. And that's where I'm with Brennan and saying, I don't get why Pablo doesn't change the pressing to drop back, absorb the pressure, get everybody behind the ball, make them do it through. That's how people beat LAFC. Like, go watch some games against the league and see how why other teams play well against them. Like, it doesn't take that much. Okay, I say that, and then they're like the best team in the league. It takes a lot. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I don't even agree with my own point. Fine. But but that game then led into the Portland game where we thought, oh, we're gonna do well, we're gonna win. And I really think we got robbed in that game. I really think we got robbed. Not on the Gila Vogie red. I think that's a borderline call. There wasn't a lot of force in it. Yeah, he put his boot up by his mouth, but he covered his mouth the rest of the time. So I think that's a red card too, right? Because if you cover your mouth, you get red carded, right? And he was talking when he had his mouth covered. So they both should have been red carded if we're going with soft reds, right? And then and then didn't we score right at the end? And they called it back for not really offside?
Olatunji. Yeah.
Olatunji, give the guy a break, man. You call these crap fouls on him, and then he finally breaks through and scores, and then you take it away and don't review it. Why are we not reviewing that? He looked so not offside to me. And maybe it's because it was called off and they didn't I don't know how they didn't make that call to not be offside. I watched it back like 10 times. I still can't I can't. And then the announcers, just like in the St. Louis game, were going off about how awesome Portland is. Oh yeah, he's clearly offside. No, he wasn't clearly offside. Draw some
Oh, there was a
lines.
nudge. There was a nudge. I saw a
It was a
nudge.
nudge. It wasn't a nudge. He didn't call a nudge. He called offside. Gosh. So it just drives me nuts. The guy can't get a break. Olatunji played great, finished. Should have should have been a tie in Portland. I don't know why it wasn't. I don't know why there's no explanation really. Just like play on. Like that's what drives me nuts about our league is that the accountability is messy, messy, messy. And because Messi's on in the league, it's even more messy. But
Nice pun.
thanks. But then we went to St. Louis, and I think we played a lot better. And I think what I took away from those three games is Saba has to be on the field. We
Yes.
need that guy on the field with the best team. I don't know why, to Brennan's point, you bring in Lineker. Like, dude, no. Like, he was the worst player on the field in the St. Louis game where we were a heavily rotated side. He was out of position all the time. He didn't know when to press and when not to. He was out of place. He was out of his depth in that game. And that's on Pablo because he might have looked like he could hang, but then he got in that game and he didn't know where he was supposed to be half the time. It felt like we didn't connect well with him. He didn't connect with anybody else well. I don't know why he was in the game. He subbed off at halftime and Saba came in. And maybe it was to protect Saba because he's not 90-minute fit yet. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just
How can he
guessing
not
here,
be?
right? But, you know, sub him off at halftime. Don't put in a backup scrub who doesn't like that guy better than Jesus Barea? Come on. And Barea got loaned out to Boise or whatever. But like that guy's not better than him, right? Like what are we doing? That's where I get a little lost is in that narrative where we bring up some guy instead of putting in Olatunji and giving him 90. Why?
That's a
Yeah.
good point though. Can I talk about the Olatunji thing? I feel that the way we're watching like how we are using certain players in history with like Pablo's tenure. Every time we've had a tall striker or a big striker, we had no idea how to use him. Like we talk about like, oh, we send balls to Krylock. We send him cross. Herrera sends a cross in. Krylock puts it through the net. Like that's amazing. That's great. And it's like great.
Best
That's
pickup of all time.
one
Header,
dimensional.
cross header, crossing. 20
Like
crosses a game.
Olatunji is a player. Like Olatunji could be so big in this league, and we're failing him. Like I don't think it's an Olatunji issue. I think it's us not allowing or helping Olatunji be who he can be. I just we're gonna pay that much for that quality of a player to sub in for 10 to 15 minutes when everybody's tired. All the center backs have gotten the rhythm of the game. Like Olatunji's going to go in there and he's not really going to disrupt because we're not going to send quality crosses in, and our set
Yeah.
pieces are not good. Like when we're watching, nobody is getting into each other's block. You know what I mean? Like we don't have that dynamic type play to make Olatunji so great, and it's a waste.
Did you
It's
see the one where Luna like set up the set piece and then he chipped the ball to the back post and nobody ran there. No one even ran to the spot he kicked it to. Nobody.
just like
I
when
was like, what are
you're
you doing?
supposed to. There's always somebody running back post, no matter what. Like
There's usually two or three, and
mhm.
nobody ran. I was like, Good job, set piece coach. Good thing we got one of those.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Brandt, sorry, I wanted to just say that before you
No,
all the
great
spotlight.
conversation. Um, I think Saba should have started,
Mhm.
right? Saba is, I don't know, thought he was playing in Atlanta. Thought he was getting time. I mean, I don't think he was coming off an injury or anything. I mean, we can trade for players that aren't injured, I guess. But I think Saba should be out there. I think he should be starting. I think he should be taking every free kick, every corner kick. That guy puts it on a dime. I mean, nobody's perfect, but his corners are crisp, right? Compared to Luna's good, but you can tell the difference. I mean, it's lofting it in or driving it in. Like those are some driven balls. I don't understand why Olatunji didn't start. And
Mhm.
I think this goes back to Pablo, the question about Pablo. Um, I'll tell you my thoughts on it since you asked. But anyway,
What do
I
Hey,
you think,
what's your
expected,
Brent?
thoughts
let me
on
go
Olatunji
backwards.
though? Can
Let me
you
go
like what's your
backwards.
thoughts on
I think Olatunji could be good, and I think if he's in there and Saba is throwing some balls into the box, I think he could be dangerous. I wonder if RSL wants to play a system and an Olatunji doesn't happen to fit the system, so they don't necessarily adjust to the players on the pitch as much as the players have to adjust to the system, which you just can't be all willy-nilly out there, but I thought, first of all, I was really surprised the RSL. I guess I wasn't surprised the LAFC played so well. I thought RSL had an opportunity to go in there and really surprise people. I thought the Burnley match, like I agree with Brennan, we were there because we live here and we can go to those games. Um,
fake fan
and
alert over there? Fake fan.
but it was also Burnley looked like they were playing their third game in like 5 days, right? On
Yeah.
their world US tour. And so they were tired. And that could have been a little bit of false hope there. But LAFC, going back to Pablo, why are you pressing forward when against the team that is probably better on the counter than any other team in the league?
With Quinton
Why?
in the center back.
What's that?
With Quinton
And to
as a
be
center.
fair, Quentin didn't get run by, right?
Well,
They
it's not.
didn't
Well, no, I'm
outrun
not.
him.
But it's bigger than that. It's not
Right.
just one piece. It's the fact that Quinton makes certain choices that the other center back or left back or whatever has to also be on board with. And you saw it was such a disconnected movement back. Like
Well,
Yedlin had to cover so far. Like, dude, Yedlin he's overpressing and then he's cutting back, and it's like he's on a dead run instead of getting in front of them. Like, yeah,
but
sorry.
it
Then
looked better
yeah,
in the St. Louis game, though. Those three looked better in the St. Louis
yeah.
game.
Junka,
They
And
combined way
Junka was
better.
and
awesome.
I think that's
Junker was
I'll get to
bad.
that.
Yeah.
We got to shut up. Brant, keep going.
No,
Right.
I'll get
Right.
to that because so they came out and LAFC, RSL, we're just going to play the way we play, right? And LAFC is going to score the way they score on us, and they did. And then the next game, Portland, I thought RSL came out and the first 30 minutes, 37 minutes, I thought, all right, RSL, this is a better response, right? And then you get the red card. And I think the red card is soft. I think if the ref pulls out a yellow, it's a yellow card because I don't think he was violently trying to stick his foot in his face.
That's what he said, though. The player committed violent conduct.
Yeah, I disagree, but you can also see that there was some intent that he left his foot up there and he was trying to go for him. And then so RSL, they get burned on the counter. Portland, they go down a man, and to compensate for being down a man, they let the smallest guy on the pitch get two free headers, and then they almost gave away a third, where Cabral was just so mad. Um, and kicked the post. And we were watching the game at the watch party. Thanks for everybody who came out. It was fantastic. Out the break in Murray, and we're watching the game. My wife is knitting and watching the game. I'm talking to fans. Andy from Indiana, RSL fan that was out here with family. We interviewed him on the podcast last year. Great guy. Loves the salary cap and all that. He's one of those guys. And just out of nowhere, my wife, who was just sitting there knitting and watching the game and enjoying dinner, and she goes, "Man, that Velde guy's a jerk, huh?" For Portland. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, Velde, man, that guy just spends so much more time, trying to get a call than to just go out there and make a play. So I thought Real Salt Lake, they really, they shot themselves in the foot. And, set pieces, they can't score on set pieces and they can't, defend set pieces. That's been difficult. So, things haven't changed there. And then I was totally not surprised the RSL played better in St. Louis because that's where Pablo excels. That's what I wanted to get to. Pablo excels when the team needs to be fired up. He's not going to be the coach that leads is with tactical changes. He's not going to be the guy that I would. I've watched him enough. Every game is like the game, and I would love to have a coach to where RSL gets the victory and he just walks over and shakes the other coach's hand. Right? It's like every game is like we have to win this game. It's like and so much passion when you really just need to, play the game, let the players play, and coach the team to victory. But he's really good at getting them motivated when they need to be. And so I wasn't surprised that after two losses on the road that they would come out and get a result. I'm surprised how they did get a result, right? Um, they went up the one with St. Louis. The field was tilted in St. Louis' favor the whole game, and RSL was stout on defense. Then they had some wonderful play when Saba came in, the back heel, and then the touch around the keeper.
Oh, it's not a back heel. It's a side pass behind his body. That's
Okay.
not a back heel.
Okay,
And
kid. Yeah,
I
no
gotta
back
defend
heel,
that because
kids.
I say no back heels. Don't take it with the back of your heel. But he side passed it with behind
Okay,
him.
so that's
That's different.
acceptable.
Totally different. Totally
That's
acceptable.
acceptable,
Yeah.
kids. Practice that. Don't toe poke, don't heel poke, right?
Yeah, and the weight of that pass was ridiculous, man. How do you do that? That was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was
And
like
then
right into the middle of space, and the keeper's like, "Who's gonna get it?" And then zoom, here comes
the
Solans.
announcers were so crap that they thought Saba was Solans. So when they like threw to Solans, who plays it through, and Solans scores. It's like, what? You just called that horribly, man. What were these?
And
The
then
St. Louis leftover announcers? Come on, man.
and the Portland announcers, they were the same with Felipe Mora leaving, and I thought they were gonna
Oh,
cry.
love fest. I
Oh,
want to go
not
down and
Felipe.
kiss him on the mouth, right? Knock it
Yeah,
off.
yeah, geez. And then
Sheesh.
Cabral doing there's like the first horrible play from Cabral in the time that he's been here. So
He had
that
three
was
that game,
terrible.
though. He had three that could have gone that way. One was a really close chance. One was lucky that the guy just mishit it. And the third one they punished. So it wasn't one time. That was actually three. I went back and counted. He had three times that game he mishit the ball. And maybe it was because it was wet or something. Maybe their field sucks. Maybe they don't have a Dan Farms or something that
Yeah,
goes out
probably
and
not.
manicures every single blade of grass and kisses it and makes it happy to live here. But
Yeah. So, like I said, the LAFC game, I thought, we didn't come out with the right setup, the right mindset for that. I don't know who you blame that on, the coaching or the players. The midfield, Caliscan and they got too far forward and into the attack, and it's like LAFC was like, okay,
LAFC love
come
playing us,
on,
don't they? They
come
love
on.
just playing Real. Oh,
Here you
good,
go.
Real Salt Lake.
Have
Yay.
the ball some more. See if you can
Oh,
attack.
yeah.
Oh yeah, a little closer, a little closer. Okay, okay, all right, here we go. And then, yeah, and then the second game, it's a down 10 men, but I agree with Brennan. They really screwed that up. They were the better team. And
We
then,
still we still outplayed Portland for almost the whole game,
yep,
right? Like
yeah,
even down a man. I love that we played that way and didn't like go into a shell. We still kept going for it. And we had to defend more than normal, but it
And
was
I
still a good game for us.
and I
So
yeah,
I'm not as down as everybody else is on this team right now.
and I thought that we should have stole a point out of that. And I thought
Yeah.
Olatunji. That's another thing with Pablo. It's just like why can't you? And who knows what the dynamic is, but why can't you see or maybe think that maybe Olatunji needs that next start? So you tell Olatunji, you know what? This Lineker kid, he's better than you,
Oh yeah. Oh
right? So if I'm Olatunji, I'm just like, well, I might say some really bad things. It's like, what the F? It's like, what is this? I mean, I almost got us a score. I was onside. I'm pretty sure he was onside. He might be, EPL off, but in MLS, he certainly looked on. So yeah, I question. We'll see how it goes because it's gonna be a lot of games, a lot of challenges for RSL for Pablo to get this team ready to finish out strong and not kind of drop down the table as things go forward because they've got a lot of games in what, a month and a half. So
yeah. Oh,
Here's my question for you guys. How
mm.
seriously should we take the Leagues Cup? That's what's coming up. How seriously do we take it? Starts on Wednesday or Tuesday or like it's
Tuesday,
it's quick. Yeah.
Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah. It starts quick and it comes at us fast, right? So how serious do we take this?
I don't know if I would say serious. I would say from a tactical point of view, if I'm looking to change or improve or find ways to be a little bit different in the later season, I'm going to use the League's Cup as a training tool. Like I'm not thinking of it as like, hey, we have to win. I'm going to look at it like, okay, let's try to look at the way we've been looking at it in a whole different way, like a full 180. And I'm going to see how we can change our attack. How are we going to change our back line? How are we going to change the pivots? Like, I would take it more as like a, hey, we got to get this win, but let's try something new to do it. And I think that's when the League's Cup becomes really nice because when you have those Liga MX guys come in, they're a whole different vibe. They're more like up and back. They're not they're I mean they're a little bit dirtier, but it's it's not MLS. And so I feel like if we played around with our attack, I think this is the perfect stretch to do it.
Right?
I don't know that. I think you just have to play it by ear. I think Brennan makes a good point. Maybe you use these 3 games to get. Maybe that's the game you start Lineker and not the St. Louis game to get some minutes out there because it is the schedule congestion. It is going to be so tight. They play for the League's Cup the first round Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday. Um, Maybe considering how tight the schedule is, if you advance, you advance. If you don't, you know, maybe that's good for this club. Uh, so yeah, you and at the same, but in the same breath, what kind of club do you want to support? Do you want to support a club that tries to win every trophy, or not? And I at some point you have to be that club. You just can't let Seattle's that way, even though we lost 6 in a row. Um, LAFC's that way, and some of these other clubs they play that way. So I think you take it seriously, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the coaches, what the club decides they want to do. What are you thinking, Tyler?
Yeah, I kind of will take a meld of you two, right? Like let's play the first game with a style. Let's put all our talented guys out there. Put Saba in there. Get the Latino flair on our team going. Light that up and fire it up and see what happens, right? Like let's do that. Throw in Arias. Have him start. Let's see what he's made of. Obviously, we know what some of those other guys are made of, and let's give Kobe Henry a chance to play straight center back. Who knows, right? Like what's next? A right back besides Yedlin? I don't know. We could start a whole new lineup with Flair. I don't know. We don't have to have Flair. You have to have your hustle guys. I get it, but you know, obviously you don't want to get walked over because you're trying to play too much offense. But I'd love to see a 4-3 game, a shootout like that, just getting up and back. People love that. Like even if you lose a 4-3 game, you scored three times and got to celebrate in your stadium, right? Instead of losing 1-0, that sucks. You don't get to celebrate a goal in your own house, right? At least get one, even if you're gonna get LAFC, right? At least Gozo gets a bike, something like that. You know what I mean? A consolidation goal at worst. But yeah, so I think we play the first game, see how it goes, and then react for the second two. But you know, whatever. I'm not super high on the League's Cup. I like it, but I don't love it because I'm so mad at Mexico still. Want to punch Mexico in the
Bro,
face.
you are borderline racist, man.
No, no, not every player. I
The
don't hate them all.
hatred you have for that country's teams is insane. Like just full on, like just way too much. You know, it's hilarious.
I agree with. I don't think Tyler's racist, but I do kind of get his point where you
Well,
want
that's
to.
what like remember last year San Luis? I love them.
Hmm.
That kind of a high tempo, getting after it style of play. I loved that. That was great. That's my favorite Mexico team, San Luis, because they just played so joyfully and happily and ran after it and gave it their all and didn't flop all over and didn't try to hold their ankle too long or just get after it and play the game and enjoy it and act like you're having fun and like I don't know.
Well, you could say the
Uh,
same thing. There's a lot of Central and South American clubs that, yeah,
yeah.
the way they play, they choose to play, and the gamesmanship. I get tired of that. I just don't focus all of my disdain on one country like Tyler, but I spread it out, right? Spread it out. Who was that club that came in here? It did out of my head in the CONCACAF with a video
Oh,
where they got the
the
stretcher.
Jamaican team.
What's
Yeah.
that?
The
Yeah.
Jamaican team where they had the
No,
record
no, it
number of
wasn't Jamaican.
stretchers.
It was somebody from Costa Rica. One of the clubs. It'll as soon as we get off, it'll remember. But that they did a video after where the dun 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 dun, 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 the Benny Hill
Yeah, that
theme
was
where they're
awesome.
stretcher. They brought the stretcher out like 25 times.
Yeah,
All that kind
yeah.
of
The
stuff.
most stretchers in RSL history.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes, especially at the end of the year. The let me ask you this question: Who has I'm thinking about Luna. What are your thoughts? Because Brennan, the question came up about the players, um, about the national team and Diego Luna, and I think he's kind of struggled. I mean, not like no one's lighting a fire under anybody the first three games back, but um, if you're looking for somebody that wants to be on the national team radar, and they were mentioning, Deuce, go out there and make them regret not putting you on the club. It has Diego Luna done anything to make Pochettino unhappy with his decision so far?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but both Portland and St. Louis started a chant for Luna, and they were like "U.S. reject," right? And they were taunting him and stuff. And I don't know about that. I don't. I know a lot of people that love to yell at players on the other team and try to get their goat and whatnot. Um, I'm not a huge fan of that myself, but I get it. They're trying to get in his head. Um, and I hope Diego just plows right through that, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, right? I hope he just goes off and starts scoring left and right for the US and for Real Salt Lake. Like be your best Real Salt Lake self, Diego. That's my letter to you as the sun figure that you are to me, Luna. Just kidding. But like, just forget it. Who cares what other stupid fans think that want to try to tease you? Like, don't let that get you down. You know who you are. Like, just go get it, right?
Yeah,
And
my thought
be
would
better.
be that's the best you can do. I'm not particularly fond of that, especially you got to young player, um,
Be more
has been
fun.
an advocate for, mental health, and hopefully he's doing just fine. I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
But I would rather, I think the people talk about, how does the Major League Soccer become one of the better leagues in the world? Have better fans and be more creative. And I think
Have better fans. What do you mean have better fans?
well, be more creative, right? I
It's
think
just like
they're
all the people that
That's
say
pretty
do better.
creative. That's
How do you just do better?
I don't know, that's pretty obvious. I mean, it's pretty low brow. I mean, be creative, be a little bit more, you know. I can't read, I can't write, but I can drive a tractor because I'm a Bristol Rovers fan or something like that. I was like, I can't read and I can't write, but it's
dude,
okay
you are
because
such a British
I
fan.
am. I am.
Dude,
I'm not
like
gonna lie.
all your opinions are just based around a
Yeah.
whole different country and their
Uh-huh.
culture and their fact
Yep.
that that's their number one sport in the country, whereas ours is the fifth or whatever. Is it fifth or is it up to three? I can't remember.
Fourth, fourth, fifth,
Somewhere around there.
depending on how you gauge it.
Well,
Fan
all I eat
attendance
now
versus
is
other
beans
stuff.
and toast. That's right. That's all I ever eat. Beans and
Oh,
toast.
yeah, beans and toast. Oh my gosh, man.
No, but
Uh,
I think there's a long way. I don't think the Major League Soccer is as far away as a lot of people want to hope. A lot of these Euro snobs, oh, Major League Soccer will never be this because of, this play. It's like oh man, it's
yeah.
just kind of
All the
like one
people
of
that are
my
saying that though have zero control of where that sport is gonna go.
Yep.
yeah. I
So
I
let them
like
talk.
some of the people. I made some comments, and I think it's funny because I crack myself up. But they were talking about I can never watch Major League Soccer because it's not as good as the Premier League, and I just want to watch the Premier. I was like, fine, but
Well, yeah,
and I would
but
say what I say is like, I agree 100%. That's why I don't like to go watch my 6-year-old grandson play soccer because they're not as good as the Premier League. Yeah.
well, your 6-year-old grandson's not a professional, so it's not like we're going to pay to watch.
Well, it's the same
Yeah, you're gonna
attitude. It's
you're
the
gonna go
same
watch, but you're not
attitude.
paying
It's
for it.
like,
If you're
it's
gonna
like
pay to watch,
I don't
then
watch
you're gonna
college
have an
soccer. I don't
expectation.
watch this. I don't go watch high school because the soccer is just not as good. It's like go
It's
watch
true,
the
it's
game,
not.
support the
Especially
game in your
Hunter back
country
in
and
like
it
the
will grow.
90s, early 2000s. I mean, Hunter's high school soccer team was trash, dude.
Oh,
Like they didn't.
they've gone down, they've gone the other way. They were almost, state quality and they've just gone downhill since 1995,
Nine,
4.
nine.
Hey, every year I was there, we made the playoffs. That's all I have to say. And it wasn't
It's
back when 8 teams from your league made the playoffs. It was
back when it
when
was
the
hard.
top three made state. That was it. And you had to be in the top three. And we were in the top three my sophomore, senior, and junior year. So
Well, that's
And
better than what I can say. I
they
didn't make the team.
yeah, the thing about Tyler's era, they had to play soccer uphill both ways
Both
against
ways.
the
and
other
that
team.
and that's hard when you're on a drainage pond
Yeah,
versus,
yeah.
a pitch. So
Broken
I
glass
never call
bottles
it a
everywhere.
pitch. I
Yeah.
played on a pitch one time and I was like, wow, this is cool. We should play all our games like this.
The ball actually rolls. Like, what is this?
And the grass is cut so short. This is so nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
back
continuous
when
across
That
the
is so
whole
true.
field.
I've never really thought about that because it's like, yeah, you play on so many fields that where the grass is so inconsistent and it's so tall. Like when you
Yeah,
dribble, you have to take so many touches because of how tall the grass is. That's so true. Damn.
yeah,
Tyler's makes it sound like his Hunter High was sponsored by Make a Wish every year he was there.
man.
Oh yeah.
Make-A-Wish would have improved our stuff so much, man. It really would have. We played on a slant. Did you know that? We were actually on a slant in the old field because it was a football practice field and they didn't care. So it actually was flat for like half, and then the second half it went up. So the what was that? The south sideline was much higher than the north sideline. It was weird.
Oh,
Anyway,
All
doesn't
right,
matter. Nobody
great.
cares about that. Back
No,
to
I
reality.
do. I do.
Diego,
That's why
Diego needs
American
to be that
soccer is
guy.
not good because we can't get a flat pitch, right? That's why
Right.
I can't go watch Hunter High School play soccer because they're not as good as the Premier League.
Yeah, and their field's not as good as the Premier League field
Yeah,
either.
No
so we
Dan
can't
Farms.
watch
Why
it.
can't Dan Farms be everywhere? All right, so we appreciate you guys joining us every episode. Please follow us on all of our social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of fun things coming up. We'll be able to go back and forth about Arsenal because they're trying to defend their championship. Manchester
Oh, yeah.
United. Do you care about Manchester United yet, Brennan?
Yes, I do.
There's a rumor Tyler Adams might sign there.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I was kind of trying to follow that because I was like, ooh, that'd be so cool. What a connection. And there's another four players that were also in rumored to do it, and they've all fell through. They were kind of just
Yeah.
using it as like a way to get more money.
Yeah. I don't think
And,
he'll end up there, but he could
Mhm.
end up
and
at Newcastle or one of these places.
if you
Good
haven't
play.
picked your Premier League team, where can you go?
VARsenal.com.
VA Arsenal.
Or you can jump on the Crawley Town bandwagon. Why not? Right?
No,
No. They got
no.
killer
But
kits.
not
Have
in the
you?
Premier League. I
Yeah, you
mean, if you're
can't.
picking a Premier League team, pick a team in the Premier League.
No, no.
That's right.
Have some guts and pick a future Premier League team.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
you have Peacock already, then just watch it on Peacock. That's a good place to do it.
And or just be an RSL fan. That's good enough too,
Yeah,
right?
and I
And
want
there is a tie to Crystal Palace, like right, like the Crystal Palace owners own a part of Real Salt Lake, so they're the minority owners of our team. So maybe pick them. They're red,
Yeah.
white, and blue. So they got an eagle as their mascot.
no,
Yeah.
that's true. I do want to say to all the fans that watch this, will you please leave a comment, ask us a question,
Yeah.
tell us what we do wrong, what we do right. You know what I mean? Like we want a little bit more of a voice from the fans.
Yeah, tell us what you think about our haircuts.
Wait. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's
Woo!
hilarious. All
Mm.
right, so we are
Nice
more than
haircut.
happy to be back from the World Cup break and all of the different life changes that's made it difficult for us to get together. So it's great to see Tyler, great to see Brennan, and I hope you enjoyed
Thanks,
us
man.
this week. And like I said, follow us on social media and subscribe to that YouTube channel. And thanks for watching.
See you.